Okay, I'm just going to record this and then I'll upload it because my internet is kind of spotty. And so I'm going to share with you my thoughts um, right now. So I tried to go live a little earlier with my new vlog of my transition as a migrant here in Jamaica. A lot of people have asked me questions about it. They've asked me, why did we leave? Why did we move? What was your reasoning? What were you thinking? All of that came up, and I wanted to cement my thoughts by sharing with you some of our reasons and some of my reasons, my personal reasons, because today has been a very trying day for me personally. Can't say that for my husband. I don't think he has been, it takes a lot to try him, so can't say he's been tried just yet. But I wanted to share with you guys some of my thoughts as to why I left the United States of America and why I think it's important for us to think and be global citizens, especially in a time of anti-immigrant. You're not like me, so because you're not like me, I'm going to do whatever to you. Being able to move in circles where you can feel comfortable with people who are like you, who may not live where you live. I think that's important. And so I'm going to share with you just a few thoughts. I've had people say to me, it is very expensive to travel, so why would you do it with your kids? You know, leave them behind. Travel is supposed to be relaxing. But I believe we are global citizens, and I think that as global citizens, we should try to raise our children as such, so that they know that there are other people that are not like them, that they'll have a tolerance already built into them to understand. It makes you aware, and you don't appear ignorant. I've had so many people say some very ignorant things about Jamaica, which lets me know they've never been here. So that's important. Travel takes away the ignorance, definitely. So here's some thoughts. I had a friend the other day ask me, how do you go about setting yourself up to do what you guys did? Well, the first thing is, I know traveling internationally can seem expensive, and it is. It's not cheap, but I think the rewards are huge. I think they really are. They're immeasurable because your kids are more savvy in an airport or in a train station or on a bus. They have a more global sense of the world. They know that there are other countries outside of their own. I was working with a friend in Florida once who the kids had never been to the beach, and they lived in Miami. I was thinking like, wow, the beach is like right there, and they had never been. So we've got to, in order to really raise kids that can do more than just, go to school and be comfortable in careers, whatever, we have to give them a global experience, especially to compete in today's world. Kids that travel are more outgoing. Kids that travel are exposed to different foods and different cultures. Kids that are outgoing are open to trying new things. Kids that are global citizens are just better overall in dealing with other people. So the first thing I want to share with you, and these are just a few bullet points that I want to share, getting passports is crucial. Get a passport, even for your baby. My sons had their passports at 6 months old, and they hold multiple passports because they're Americans and they're also Jamaicans and European. They hold a British one as well. So being able to move about is important. I think that kids, especially, they have an adventurous spirit naturally, and so don't squash that. Allow them to exercise that exploratory feeling within them. So get the passports. And sometimes people say, well, we're not going anywhere. Get them anyway. Especially as children or as babies under 2 years old, they still travel free. So when you start them out early, it's just important that they understand, proper decorum on a plane. You always know the kid that's never been anywhere because he's the one that's screaming at the top of his lungs. So start them out early and you can get past that pretty quickly. Get your kids involved in the process of planning. We planned this. You know, the kids, they researched about Jamaica, Jamaican culture, Jamaican history. We learned about Queen Nanny, who was one of the Maroons who broke away from the slaveholders. We learned about the different parishes in Jamaica. We learned about their own history here in Jamaica. So get the kids involved with learning about different cultures, different places, even their own culture if you have a background that's from someplace else. That's important because kids remember that. Look for family travel deals. We try our best to do 2 international vacations a year. We've stuck to that. We've stuck to that pretty much for the past few years. Is it expensive? Not if you plan for it. And I'm not talking about Disney. You know, I'm not talking about Disneyland, China. You know, I'm talking about actually getting involved in the planning of a cultural experience that they'll never forget. My 4-year-old, who was 2 when we went to Kenya, remembers Kenya. He remembers it. So a lot of people say, well, they're not going to remember. Now, he may start to fade a little bit, but we got enough video and enough pictures that he can say he knows he's been to Africa. So I think it's important. Look for family deals. There are Groupon deals. There are travel deals, travel clubs all over the place that have deals that will allow you to travel with your family, and it's affordable. But you got to look. A lot of times, because you don't look, you don't know. So I think it's important for us to do that. The next thing is there are websites like worldtravelfamily.com, travelandleisure.com, even our channel, the Thomas Family Travels on YouTube, are all resources to help you kind of get an idea as to where you can go. And like I said, try to think outside of the box. Keep in mind that cruises are great options too, because you still get a chance to go to different places and get an experience where they can still feel safe and feel like they can move around and get an experience. School is no excuse. The world is the best classroom. So I've had people say, well, my kids are in school, I can't go in December, or I can't go whatever. There have been many times I've gone to teachers and said, we are going on a trip. I'm taking my kids out for a week or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. And I've been able to take my kids back to school afterwards, and they can write a report about where they've been and still get credit for not being there. So don't think that you cannot take your kids out of school and take them on a trip that is a trip of a lifetime. We're trying our best. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. Jason was telling me we may not be able to, but we're going to South Korea soon, and we want to take the kids. But we're trying our best to work out the details because it's going to involve school. So we're trying to figure that out. Your kids, and this is so true, will ditch their tablets and their phones and all of that stuff when you take them on a trip of a lifetime. And you have to know that tablets and phones and all these little game things, they are designed to disengage the child, disengage individuals, get you detached from whatever it is that you need to be focused on. So you'd be surprised. Well, we used to come to Jamaica before we moved here. My kids all on the plane. Mommy, can I play on your phone? Mommy, can I play on your phone? And as soon as we landed, phones went out the window. They were climbing trees. They were digging holes. They were finding bugs. They were looking for scorpions on the ground, looking for all kinds of stuff, looking up for lemons and mangoes and all of that stuff, because it's more of a culture that lends to that kind of experience, if that makes any sense. So the simplest adventure will allow them to ditch the tablet. Also, while planning, keep it simple. I mean, you don't have to go, once you've been to a few places, then you start to step out, Try something new. You know, you don't have to go to Bangladesh on your first trip, get the chance to understand the culture a little bit, to wherever it is you're going. I did a lot of research on Kenya when we went. People were like, don't go, they're going to catch malaria. Talking to Kenyans, talking to people who've been there multiple times, getting a better understanding of what that looked like and how to deal with that. Talking to your doctor. People travel. There were so many people there from all over the world. If there was a threat of something major, they wouldn't have been there. You see what I'm saying? So don't let the fear of catching something be your reason for not going to different places. I think that's a cop-out. Be sure to like and subscribe and give us suggestions as to where you would like us to go, because we are adding to our bucket list. Hopefully next year we'll be on the continent of Africa once again. Connect with people you know. I've reached out to some folks that I know that live and have moved to other countries, and I'm letting them know I'm coming. And is it possible that we can come visit them? People will say it all the time, you come visit, and we're like, yeah. And like, are you sure? Yeah, you can come visit. And that gives you a place to go, because it's always nice to go someplace where you know someone. Because in other cultures, they are more apt to invite you over, literally. A lot of times Americans can be a little to themselves and not really want people in their space. But because we are global and global in our thinking, we know that other cultures are not that way. And so we try our best to oblige. So with that being said, please like and subscribe to our channel, thomasfamilytravels.com. Thomas Family Travels on YouTube. I'm working on thomasfamilytravels.com so that you can see all the fun and wonderful places we've been. Also, we've got tons of videos from Dubai, from Kenya, from Greece, England, Abu Dhabi, Jamaica, that are already there, that you can also look at and like and subscribe. Well, that's my 12-minute warning. I'll see you guys, and I thank you. Toodles.